All right, hello and welcome to another episode of Two Dudes Different States. I'm Andrew.
Zach,
Happy Thanksgiving, Zach.
to you as well. I heard
Yeah.
you had quite a fun Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm. It was
Saw some
fun.
family.
Yeah, I traveled 12 hours by car with the dog. Um,
That's got to be fun.
yeah, it was a long drive there and back. It always seems like it's not gonna be when you get like the first 2 hours in,
Hmm
and then you're like, oh, yeah, I still have way more to go. Especially when you're driving through like Ohio.
Virginia. Oh yeah,
No,
dude.
Ohio's the worst.
Oh, oh yeah, dude. It feels like you legit go through an entire country when you go through Ohio.
Yeah.
Like when I drove down with everyone for your wedding.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why, but like I've done the trip before. Like I've done the trip to DC multiple times, and
Mm-hmm.
it just didn't seem as long. But this time, it just felt like I was moving through butter.
Yeah, I kind of on the way there, I was like, yeah, Pennsylvania's not that bad. But then on the way back home, it was like that was just terrible. Like it was just maybe because it was dark out too. Like
Oh
it was
yeah.
night, and so it was just like constant like turns and like just going up and down mountains. I'm like, who
hmm
wants to live in this state?
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, it's like it's like you're going there, so you're just like it may not feel like you are, but you're excited to go to the place.
Hmm.
So kind of like it may have not felt like it was moving fast, but it probably did move fast.
I don't know.
But as you're coming home, you're down from the high of seeing your family and having fun and stuff. So
Hmm.
having to return back to your actual home is just sometimes it could just be like, oh, takes forever. But no, it was Thanksgiving was a little different this year for mine. I mean, I still got drunk, so there's that.
Oh,
But
that's
I
good.
mean,
I was worried that
no.
wouldn't happen.
I mean, it was different. I mean, of course we didn't like we had to cancel Thanksgiving at my house.
Is it
To
normally like
see.
a? Are you does your parents like normally host it like for the whole
Well,
family
no,
or
it's
something?
like it's like with Thanksgiving and Easter we switch it up. So like one year we'll go to my dad's side
Mm-hmm.
for one of them, and then
Sure.
the opposite for my mom's
Yeah,
side.
we do the same.
But my one grandma, my dad's mom, is like really high risk,
Mm-hmm.
and so she it was probably best that we didn't go see her this year.
Okay.
And my one grandma, there's usually like 15, 20 people at my grandma's house this year, and she said that if one of us got sick, she couldn't live with herself.
Jeez.
So I mean, not like like that morbid, but like she would feel really bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I mean, so she made the executive decision to call off Thanksgiving, and we'll see where Christmas gets us. So because we're supposed to go over, because we celebrate with my mom's side on Christmas Eve
Mm-hmm.
and my dad's side Christmas, but I don't know. We'll figure that out when the time comes. We got 3 weeks.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. When I was younger, like we had that similar rotation of like, we do like Thanksgiving with my dad's side of the family, which kind of lived nearby, and then my mom's side of the family, which lived in Michigan, for Christmas or something like that, and Easter maybe would like flip flop every year or something.
Hmm
But then like once you're married, you have to like change that rotation to
Yeah.
like your own personal family, and then like my wife's personal family.
hmm
Um, so
And
like
it
we,
kind of sucks for you because it like there's a difference between Chicago, which is 3 hours away from what your mom's side, right?
hmm
3, 4 hours,
yeah,
compared to your side now, which is actually like 12 hours.
hmm
So that's gonna be a little bit more difficult.
yeah, yeah, definitely. Because you got to do the drive because
Hmm
we have two dogs now, so we either have to board them and fly or bring them with us.
hmm
Yeah,
Yeah, it's definitely a bit more of a challenge now.
it is. Yeah, and similar to like kind of like what you were talking about, how you guys cancel yours over like uh, people being high risk. Um, we kind of were like we were aware that like it probably wasn't the smartest idea, but we still wanted to meet up and see family because most of us hadn't. I haven't seen my sister
hmm
in almost a year. I would say. And like she has a 1.5-year old now. Um, and so I got to see my niece, who I also hadn't seen in almost a year, and that was pretty nice to be able to do that. And we kind of just took precautions leading up to it, and we were supposed to go to a wedding last weekend that we were all invited to, and we didn't end up going because like things are still not super great.
Yeah.
And like we didn't want to risk. It wasn't even like a risk of getting like my niece sick. It was
But
like
your
a risk
parents.
of, my parents, but even just like my sister and her husband, because if they get
Hmm.
sick, they can't like that person can't take care of the baby.
Yeah.
So it's just trying to play everything we can on the safe side.
No, no, it's understandable, and I won't nag people for, the decisions they make, you're an adult, do
Hmm.
what you feel like you need to do. And, like you said, you haven't seen your family in a while, and I mean, there's other people that haven't seen their family, but, with you, your job allows you to work from home,
Yeah.
and I don't know, like, your guys' habits, so it was probably, okay for you to go do that, I'm not gonna
Hmm.
nag on you or bash you for doing that.
Yeah.
But,
Appreciate that.
with like me, my dad's been in like the hospital for like the past like month and a half now, and
Mm.
he doesn't have COVID, but like he's a very high risk patient now
Hmm.
with like everything that's gone and happened to him. So when we found out he could be coming home in the next week or so, it was kind of like we were gonna just relax and see where that takes us, and we'll figure that out when the time comes. But
Good.
no, I mean it's great that you were able to see your family. It's you know Thanksgiving's a great time, and it's always a great thing when it's leading up to Christmas. So
Hmm.
I'm glad you had a fun Thanksgiving, and happy almost Christmas to you, Bennett.
Thanks. Happy almost Christmas to you too.
Let's
Um. All right. What'd you do this week? What are you ready to rant about?
start with Call of Duty. I have come to the realization that Call of Duty Cold War is hot dog shit. Um, Apart from zombies, which even that has a multitude of problems. It has glitches. It has game crashing. As per usual. Call of Duty in general, like just even with Cold War and Modern Warfare, is in a bad spot right now.
Hmm.
I think it's in a very bad spot, and the only thing people have to look forward to is Warzone, and even that's pretty bad with the cheaters, the skill-based matchmaking, and just like all around just like game development. Cold War should not have been released this year. I don't care what anyone says. I don't, this is, even though this is my opinion, Cold War should not have been released this year.
Hmm.
That game is dog shit. The graphics are terrible. It looks like we went back to Call of Duty Black Ops 1 with the graphics.
Hmm.
You can't, like, the movement speed is terrible. Hitboxes are terrible. Guns don't do damage unless they have a specific one piece of uh attachment on it. Camos are ridiculously stupid. You have to get flashbangs or stuns while people just rock tac mask. I had flak jacket on yesterday, Bennett,
Hmm.
and was hit 3 times dead on with a thumper and died immediately. I've gotten hit markers with thumpers landing right next to people, and even they had flak jacket on, so that's kind of fun. Um, what else?
I don't think Ghost works. That's just my personal opinion.
Oh, Ghost probably doesn't work either, and just the all-around skill-based matchmaking, dude.
Hmm.
I'm shocked I have an above 1 KD.
I don't.
Like this is just it's like it's shocking. It's so incredibly difficult to actually get kills.
Hmm.
And then this whole Nuketown thing, this like, oh,
I
we're
haven't
bringing
even
back
played
the
it.
classic map, Nuketown, that's been around since Black Ops 1. I love that map. That map was so much fun in the previous Black Ops series.
Hmm.
I Last night I was playing. I told Adam, him and I both said this at the same time. Yo, this game sucks.
Hmm.
The spawns in Nuketown have never been worse.
Really?
I'm legit spawning right in front of them as they're spawning, or they're spawning to the right of me and to the left of me. Or, you know, the moment I step foot out of my spawn, I'm dying from a guy camping in a corner.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, the thing that irritates me when Adam says it, oh, it's a new game, you know, people, you know, will be sitting in corners for this
It's
first
been like
couple. I don't give a
3 weeks.
shit. Dude, it's been almost a month since this game has come out, and it's still bad.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen people just saying, "Oh, you gotta wait till the season pass comes out." For what? A
I don't know.
skin?
I don't
Like,
know if
this
that
is
would change.
dumb. Like, this game is terrible. We
Mm-hmm.
actually went back and played Warzone yesterday. That's like probably like the first time I've had fun playing Warzone or any Call of Duty since Cold War's been released.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a terrible game. And the thing I want to know, do developers even play their game? Like when they're testing it, or like game testers or whatever? Like
I
this is
assume
a
so.
serious question
I
because
think they do test these things, but I have read over time that like a number of games like I don't know if you ever played this game Sonic Heroes.
I think I have.
It's a really old one at this point, but um, even they admitted, like some QA tester, like came out and admitted that, like, oh, they found all these bugs, like, and that game is full of them, and they reported all of them, but it's up to like the managers or like producers to like make the decision on whether or not they're like high priority or not. And so you
That's
get like a game like
ridiculous.
Sonic Heroes, which like they're like, no, we just need to ship this thing, and it's just totally broken, and like kids are expected to play it, so they're like whatever. And so like in a game like Cold War, I think because of their longevity of like they're gonna update and update and update over like the next year, they're gonna try and maybe like hit the more priority stuff, and then anything that's not totally game breaking, they're probably just gonna leave.
That's asinine in my opinion. Like, you know, you'd think, you know, you have games that, you know, will delay years. Cyberpunk. You know, we didn't
Yeah.
did you there wasn't a beta for it, right?
No,
Or
it's a
there
single
was?
player game.
Yeah. So they're basically taking a game that should have came out what, last year,
Hmm.
pushed it back to this year, pushed it back again, and pushed it back again
Yep.
to see how perfect they can make this game. I
Hmm.
have no problem with doing that. But at one point, do you start saying, okay, well, maybe we should just, you know, if there's really, really small things, like you don't see a nut sack or something like that, you can
I
keep
think
that.
I think they're kind of counting on, you know, no offense, but people like you and Adam to just lock in your purchase the moment it's available. And they after that they're like, it's not, because we would complain a lot about Modern Warfare, and we'd still come back every time. And even if we weren't, well, I wasn't putting money into it, but um, our friends were,
Yeah.
is what I'll
I
say.
mean,
So
like I'll say this: Modern Warfare sucks, but I mean it was fun. Like it was
I
fun
don't.
to a
I always
certain
thought it was
point.
fun.
And but Cold War, that game sucks.
Yeah.
We like Am and I said we don't want to play this game anymore.
No, it's hard. It's actually hard to play.
Like in the MP5 is stupid broken.
You guys
The
keep saying that, but
AK-70
I use it and I'm terrible with it, so I don't know what's
and
broken with me.
I've I'm a big fan of the CDL.
Hmm.
So I follow like, you know, articles and stuff. Like there's people saying that SMGs are not going to be viable in the Pro League this year
Mm.
for Cold War. And I'm just thinking, wait, what? What do you mean? The SMG or the MP5 is legitimately an assault rifle. And
Maybe that's why.
say it's like a good majority, like the Mac or the Milano or whatever that gun is.
Hmm.
That gun is like a 4-hit kill. Like if you hit chest shots,
Hmm.
that gun's damage is insanely dumb. And it's just, I don't know. The game as a whole is just terrible. I
Yeah.
don't I don't see myself playing that for a a good minute. I don't think I'm going to,
Hmm.
unless we actually just like we're just like, all right, let's just play zombies for a couple hours and see what happens.
Yeah, I agree.
But no, and then it's it's dumb because the two games that I looked forward to a lot this year, Destiny with the huge expansion
Hmm.
and Call of Duty Cold War, those games have just extremely disappointed me.
Mm-hmm.
And it's super frustrating because I want to have like, I want to play a fun game, and Adam goes, "Oh, I've been having fun playing Destiny. They've been releasing stuff like every week. I don't see anything. They just want you to play Crucible the entire freaking time." And I don't want to
That
play
sounds
Crucible. I
miserable.
want to actually I want to play like campaign missions or like,
Mm-hmm.
quests and stuff that I don't have to do the raid for.
Yeah.
But it's either you either do the raid and you play Crucible or you don't get anything.
Mm-hmm.
And then the sunsetting, dear God, the sunsetting is dick. So bad. Taking all the fun guns out of the Recluse. Can't use the Recluse anymore because
She's
the light
gone.
level on it has just been murdered.
Jeez.
And it's just super frustrating. I was so looking forward to those two games, and now I'm back at not getting a win on Warzone because I'm terrible.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see. We'll see where this year takes us. Maybe Cyberpunk will be awesome. I don't know.
I'll let you know. 12 days or something like that.
If they don't delay it again.
I don't think they will. I think that was whatever
You think
they
it's gonna
caught.
be
Was
legit?
like, yeah,
You think it's gonna be legit?
it's too close now.
Wasn't it supposed to come out like a couple weeks ago and they canceled it like 2 days before?
Not 2
or something like
days. It
that?
was like a whole. It was like a little over a month. They pushed it. They didn't cancel it.
Come
First off, they
on.
moved it. They just moved it back a little after promising they wouldn't move it again.
We won't move it again, but we're moving it again.
Yeah. So I recently watched. Well, I got a new iPhone. I got the new iPhone, and with that iPhone, I didn't know this would happen, but I got a year of Apple TV Plus.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and so I was looking at it, and it was like this show by Jason Sudeikis called Ted Lasso, and he plays like this Kansas guy who moves to England to coach a
Oh, is it the
Premier
soccer
League
team?
football. Yeah, football team.
Oh, I've seen that. Well, I mean, like I haven't watched it, but like
Yeah.
I've heard of it.
It's
It looks funny.
It's so funny. It's a great show. Um, I mean, I won't tell you much if you're gonna end up watching it at some point somehow. But
I'll figure it out.
if you haven't ever used like you can get it like a 7-day trial. If you want to do that to check it out, but it's a great show. It really is,
I'll have to
and
figure it out.
it's just so it's classic fish out of water kind of thing. Where he like even admits in like the early episodes, he's like, I don't know how soccer works. Like some reporter at one point asked him, he's like, "What? Can you please describe offside to us?" And he's like, I just like when you see it, you know what's happening, like kind of a thing, like.
Dude, Jason Sudeikis is funny. I loved him in like all of his movies.
Yeah, he's great.
Sucks him and Olivia Wilde broke up. She's hot, but
They
whatever.
did?
Yeah.
When? I was just looking
Like,
up stuff about him.
2
so.
weeks ago. 2
Oh,
weeks ago. I think.
wow.
Last week. I'm not sure. I can't
Google's not up to date about that.
remember. But no, that show looks extremely funny. I'll have to check
Mhm.
it out. But I just spent some money on HBO Max
Nice.
watching all that stuff. I watched that animated Harley show.
That's
Quinn
on there?
show. Yeah.
I didn't
Well,
know
it's the DC universe is on HBO Max.
It's Warner
So I
Brothers.
still have to watch the South Park Pandemic special.
I still haven't watched that either.
I gotta watch that.
I don't know if I want to, but
no, I mean it's South Park. It's gonna be ridiculous.
yeah.
But no, there's a bunch of good movies on there. I forgot how many good movies were there. And I think
Mhm.
Wonder Woman 1984 is gonna be released on it.
Yeah, on Christmas Day.
So I don't know if I'm gonna have to pay for that or not, but I don't know.
Might.
But this is just proving that movie theaters will become obsolete in the next 2 years.
I probably already are, honestly. I think that streaming services just have to commit in some way to doing it.
Well, I mean, Disney Plus is, they've already done that with a few of their movies. They just, they said, give us $25 or something like that, and you can watch the movie.
Yeah, there's a YouTuber I follow who I'm a fan of, and I sort of look up to him, but it's just sort of like he does like a lot of stuff that I like get really disappointed in,
Mhm.
and I'm like, I don't take it personally. Like it's not a huge deal. But in this case, basically when they were having the conversation about like Mulan was coming straight to Disney Plus, and you had to pay like $30 or something like that, and then there was the, the people were having conversations about like, oh, well, will Black Widow come out as well at some point onto Disney Plus, and like how much would we pay to see that? And he was like, I'll pay like $60 to see that, like on Disney Plus. And I was like, he got like a ton of backlash from fans because they're gonna price gouge us if you say stuff like that, and they're gonna, you know, start thinking that like it's okay to like, make not great films but like have a decent trailer and then just sell you a ticket for like $60 in your own home.
There's no way I'm paying $60 to watch a movie.
Yeah,
Just saying that
for
now.
2 hours.
Maybe 20, maybe 20, because
Mm.
that's how much a movie theater ticket would cost.
Yeah,
And I know like they throw in like the cost of like
like food.
food and stuff with the ticket, but at the same time you're basically taking a
But
small
that's
loan out every time you go to a theater.
yeah, it's it's up to you. Like I don't like I almost never actually buy anything at like any snacks or anything like that.
Hmm.
Maybe I'll get a cup of water, but that's about it. Like
Movie theater
I'm just
popcorn
not
just
in.
hits differently. So
What you mean, like in a good
I,
way?
yeah, it's just like
I don't
it's
know.
like you have regular popcorn that you can just buy like from the store or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But the moment you get to like a movie theater and you get a big bag of that shit, it just hits differently. And
Mm-hmm.
apparently, I don't know if they're doing like I don't know if you've heard about this, but like the movie theaters by my house, there's actually like you could get takeout for like
The
a
popcorn?
pop and popcorn.
Why?
Yeah, it's nuts. So I don't know. I haven't done it yet, but like I've heard about it. So there's
I'm tempted.
that.
That's pretty nuts. I didn't know that would
I
be a
know
thing.
it's kind of creative. I mean, they're not making any money right now, so
I'm
they
surprised they're
have to
not
figure out
attempting
a
some kind
different
of
way.
like drive-in theater. I mean, you have those massive parking lots. Well, at least the ones around me are like for movie theaters have massive parking lots. Like you'd easily like figure out some way to do drive-in movies just already there.
I think I think it's just it's too populated.
A
You're gonna get
drive-in
people that
movie?
are like across like yeah, like across the street,
Mm.
watching it cuz like a lot of our movie theaters around here are just like in very populated areas.
Mm-hmm.
Like you know the Troy area pretty well, right?
Um, I wouldn't say pretty well.
You know where Oakland Mall is?
I know where Oakland is.
Okay, never mind then. But no, it's like it's for one, I don't really think it'd be safe to have a drive-in movie at
Okay,
the one near Oakland Mall.
sure.
Two, uh, the other ones are just like on a major road,
Mm.
so having traffic back up
Wouldn't
like
work
that,
everywhere.
you'd have to be in you'd have to be like in BG, like that
Mm-hmm.
one theater in BG that's now closed.
That really
You know
old
what I'm
one
talking about?
that was in the
Yeah,
mall.
the one we saw Batman vs Superman in. You know
Did
what I'm
I go
talking
see
about?
that there?
Yeah, you saw that with me.
I don't remember that at all.
Wow, some friend, ladies and gentlemen, some friend. No, I'm joking.
I
No,
don't.
that's closed, I think now.
I mean, I remember going there. I remember I saw The Force Awakens there. Oh.
Okay, sorry about
I mean, we got like 5 minutes, so
that.
we could just talk about Mandalorian. And
No, dude, that show is really good. It's
I
really
didn't
picking it
expect it
up.
to be this
I
good.
think that's the last time we'll see Ahsoka though,
Yeah, definitely. At least for a while.
until her
Spin off.
spinoff. Yeah.
And when I was looking at the picture that I have up right now, it's just a pretty basic picture. I happened to see some with like headlines, and there are a few like news article, you know, like companies that I don't know who's writing these articles because they're like, well, this officially means that Clone Wars and Rebels are canon in the film universe. I'm like, they've always been. They've
Yeah,
always been.
like
They've stated
you
that
think
multiple
Ahsoka just
times.
appears? Like what the?
It's
Like
just,
people are dumb.
like they just don't. Another indication that like journalists just aren't doing any research on easy stuff to figure out like, oh, like obviously
Mhm.
this character exists. Like there was one article I read very briefly that was describing the fact that like now that we know that Ahsoka exists in a live action uh, part of the franchise, therefore it's now canon with the films, all 9 films. The Mandalorian's canon with the films. That means that Darth Maul's death is now canon,
Yes.
but it already was because they were like, well, if you
Yes.
see Solo, it's like a Solo, like the Solo movie. I forget. I
Mhm.
think it's just called Solo. I always forget. They're like, oh, well, he's in it, but you don't really know like what he's up to or anything like that. I was like, no, you. We all knew. We all know.
God,
We knew
people are
then.
so
We knew
dumb.
now.
It always has.
Yeah.
No, uh, I don't know. People are dumb. Like
Yes.
unless someone
People
says
are
it's
dumb.
not canon, it's canon.
Mm-hmm.
Like and it just goes to show the theme of the week with this episode is just people are stupid. Like the Mace Windu stuff, no shot
Mm-hmm.
that's gonna happen. No
Mm-hmm.
shot.
I mean, you were
You know,
describing some of that theory last night, and I feel like I debunked it pretty quickly, but at
yeah,
least in my head, I debunked
yeah,
it really
no.
quickly.
I mean, there's a bunch of nerds that are like, no, it could happen.
Of course, it could
No,
happen, but it's not going to, and it shouldn't.
no. Just like how stuff in like the Marvel Cinematic Universe won't happen.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, you can't translate everything from the comics to the movie screen. It's just not how it works.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I read something back like a couple years ago where they said we had to basically go a different route with the Infinity Gauntlet uh story
Mm-hmm.
because everyone knew what was going to happen. So like that's the problem with making like these movies and shows. You already know what's going to happen
Yeah.
with a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, personally, I don't really read anything regarding like Star Wars.
Yeah, I
I
don't
never
either.
have.
Mm-hmm.
I know there's a bunch of things that you could,
Well, all that's like no
look
longer
up and
canon, but
yeah. And it's I don't know. It's really weird. But I mean, I applaud Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau
mm-hmm.
for their work in this series.
Yeah,
Um,
knocking out of the park this season.
I they're both great directors and artists of what they done. Dave Filoni saved Clone Wars, and had Jon Favreau like guest voice or something like that in a few episodes of it,
Hmm.
and Dave and Jon Favreau had Dave Filoni come in for like a guest spot in The Mandalorian. So it's like kind of just like back and forth with them,
Yeah,
sharing
I'm
their
pretty sure Dave Filoni
accomplishments.
directed this episode.
Yeah, I think he directed the past couple episodes
Mm-hmm.
or
Which
like
he's
a
done way
couple of
better
them.
than last season.
Hmm.
Because last season he had like that really bad episode that pretty much everyone agreed was just not a good episode
Hmm.
altogether.
I loved how they've brought back like a lot of the directors
Mm-hmm.
because like I think it's like not all the episodes are directed by the same person. It's a
Right.
different person directing each episode. Like
Mm-hmm.
Taika Waititi directed an episode this season and last season.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, the chick, I can't remember her name, the redhead from Jurassic Park, the new Jurassic Park films. Do you know what I'm
I
talking
know who
about?
you're talking about. I don't remember her
I
name.
can't remember her
Isn't her
name,
last name
but she's
Howard? She's like Ron
yeah,
Howard's
Bryce
daughter or
Dallas
something.
Howard.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure she directed like an episode from each season. So
Really?
it's really nice that I think, don't quote me on that, but I think it's no, it's pretty cool how they're having these people come back and direct the episodes. And Taika Waititi, I think he's one of my favorite like not actors, but like directors now.
Yeah,
He's
he's
been
great.
he's put out a few movies. Like I saw Jojo Rabbit a
Mm-hmm.
couple weeks ago.
It's great.
That's a great movie.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great movie.
It is.
And no, it's just it's cool. Like the whole process that they have for this show is fantastic. And now if they can only get their heads out of their asses to do the Kenobi show, I'll be happy.
yeah, I don't know what to expect from that now. Um,
It's in development.
I don't, you know, I liked the idea of it a while ago, but I think as the Mandalorian grows, I'm kind of like, let's just move on. Let's just go down.
Hmm.
All right, I think our time's
I
up.
guess we'll call it there.
Mm-hmm. All right, man.
But yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Have a great, safe week, everyone. Tell someone you love them.
All right.
Peace out.
See you, everybody.